Hi. I'm Bobby. I am a robot cat. It appears our dear Katherine is attempting to appear a bit less terrible. In light of her recent feud with Amy Duggar King, Katherine is working harder than she should to appears the exact opposite of what others are interpreting her to be. Let us watch as she fights her way through an unbiased video on Jessa.
Guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. This is Wednesday, January 12th. I hope you're having a really good day.
Oh, you do not.
Not feeling the best. My eyes are puffy. I feel like I've got watery eyes. I've got a headache and I've got a stuffy nose and a sore throat. And I think
No, Katherine. That is simply the evil trying its hardest to escape.
I've got like the winter crud. And I am just like laying low, and I noticed that you really can't take a break when you do this job. I spent quite a bit of my day yesterday like laying in bed doing Instagram. So by the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure that you do Without a Crystal Ball Instagram.
Oh yes, let's send your viewers to the platform you misbehave the most.
Deep dives into the IBLP and world of the Duggars for more than 2 years, and we've been talking a lot about the cult that they're involved in. And we've also done quite a bit of content on the trial and the sentence and the like guilty and all of that.
Katherine, we know.
And now post-trial, there has been some of the girls have been returning to social media and getting back into the swing of their lives and trying to earn a living on social media.
You seem a little tense.
Jessa returned yesterday and she shared that she is getting a new house. So automatically there was a lot of questions about where is this house, who paid for the house, how did she get the house, and then she was getting bombarded on social media with questions about, you know, did her dad buy this house? Was this a gift from her dad? Is she bought by her dad?
You quite literally said all of those things. But, since you are trying very hard to be unbiased and kind, I do not want to be responsible for your combustion.
And Jessa obviously is at a point right now where she's definitely feeling frustrated, and she's snapping back a little bit more than normal. And listen, I can totally understand the pressure that she's probably feeling. And
you're slipping, darling. Rein it in.
I also know that
we are pretending to be a reporter.
They're getting a lot of negativity from all directions. And so I can definitely understand, like, when you're feeling like the need to defend yourself, that you will. Jessa is probably one of the most vocal of the girls to be direct and snap back when people say things.
Well, perhaps that is due to your recent accusations leveled against the poor girl. Perhaps it is due to your smug judgment of other mothers while you sit there and never mind.
And she was not holding back yesterday because she got a lot of flack about this video. Now, I have to remind you that they've been sitting on this content for months. She filmed this back in June, and so it's curious for her to release it this week, simply because there's been some heavy news that's been coming out of the IBLP and their family connections to really horrible people and family members and friends that are involved in pretty things.
Wow. This facade did not even last to the halfway mark of your video.
The doctor his daughter came out a couple days ago, like last week, and she accused him of SA. And so the Duggars haven't addressed that, and I don't know if they will, but this is a doctor that was their family doctor and took care of JL Duggar until the very end. So there's been a lot of people that are like, this is coming out over here, and you guys are talking about your gender reveals and your houses. This is weird.
Who dropped you as an infant?
So a lot of people feel like the Duggars are doing distraction, which, by the way, a lot of people on social media do. It's a way to control the narrative. So do I think that it's odd that they're releasing this now? Yes, but whatever. Let's get to what we're talking about with the actual video.
How is a home remodel reveal video content about a religious cult? Perhaps you shall share.
So she is letting people know that she and her husband are moving into a new place. And the house was a fixer-upper, and she was completely like gutting it. And they basically like ripped the house apart down to the studs. And they put in some new framing, and they're remodeling it from like the whole way out, like from the inside of this place.
Like what you did with the GoFund, never mind.
Full remodel rehab. It's not just like a minor fixer-upper type of thing. And they also did some floor lifting, and they added a master bedroom. And a lot of people immediately were in her comments asking her questions about like, where did this house come from? How did she how did she afford this house? Is this a gift from her daddy? And what we did was I did some digging and sleuthing for you to figure out where this came from. And
of course you did. You absurd weirdo.
actually, after I spent most of the day trying to figure out where this was coming from, it was one of my subscribers that actually did some sleuthing themselves.
Was that very painful for you?
And we're able to take a look at the outside photograph of the the video of the house, and we were able to determine that it looks like they're going to be moving into the house that is actually the parsonage house that's located at the church that Ben has been preaching at. So yeah.
Why would you do this?
Yes, Miss Jessa's husband is now a full-time pastor, and he works at Emmanuel. And the church, which is located, like, I'm not sure where exactly it is, but they have a main like church. They have a little area that's like an off building, like where the offices are. And
why are you sharing exactly where this family's home is?
The parsonage house is usually a house where a pastor and their family will live while they're working for the church. So it sounds like they will be moving into the parsonage house, and they have decided to remodel the parsonage house. Now, the question is whether or not they're paying for it or if the church is going to help pay for that, because they don't physically own the property. As far as I can tell, the home itself is still owned by a Baptist church.
You are absolutely terrifying.
But from the outside, it looks exactly like the parsonage house, which is not uncommon for, in the South, pastors to live on property where the church is located. And in this area as well, I was told that he has taken over a church that had I would say, population that was a little bit older. And so because of that, they haven't had a lot of, it's considered like a church where their membership is going down. And so sometimes they will bring in a newer pastor, a younger pastor, to try to bring up the age and like bring in new families. And
you appear as though you are about to spontaneously combust. We all know what you would like to implicate in reference to a younger pastor.
He is kind of working with them, I was told, to build the congregation back up. Now, Ben is still a conservative Baptist, and he is in the Reformed sect, so he is not a part of the IBLP, even though Jessa still is what would be considered a Arminian legalist. So they have different, although they're still married, they tend to have, as far as I was told, differences of opinion on their faith.
Is there no other family for you to victimize at this point? Your creepy monster arms are reaching.
Supportive of his job as a pastor. So she is actually not getting a house that's from Jim Bob. So for those questioning, did she actually get this house from Jim Bob? It appears as no. Then I was getting questions from some of you guys in my comments about whether the church was affiliated with Jim Bob. So some of you assume that Ben only got this job because of Jim Bob. Well, again, I was told that's not true. I was actually told by someone that is friendly with the Duggars that Ben's belief system as a Calvinist Baptist is quite a bit different than his father-in-law. And this church is tied to a Baptist Fayetteville branch. It's like a sister church to a church in Fayetteville.
First you complain their home is too small. Now you attempt to find some wrongdoing in their larger home.
And it's like,
wow.
He got tied into this church. That's what my source said. This is actually not from Jim Bob at all, I was told. So Ben has been doing this on his own and was kind of on this path by himself. But that hasn't stopped a lot of the comments coming in towards Jessa, and she has been clapping back in some of these comments about it. So someone said this, "Oh, Daddy finally bought you a new house, huh?" And she said, "He's never bought or given us a house. We live simply and save, and that's how we've acquired everything we own." So she's not actually lying here. Her dad has not given her anything.
You require immense amounts of therapy.
Or purchased anything for her, although the house that she did live in and she owns right now with Ben was from her grandmother, Mary. So her grandmother deeded this home to them back in 2017 or 2016, right around the time that they got married. And it's not clear if they paid for it or if it was a gift, but the house for sure was from a family member. And Mary was very close to Jim, and Mary instrumental in, flipping quite a few properties to the kids, or homes that were from her got sent to Jim Bob and then Jim Bob gave them to the kids.
Katherine, just because your family wants absolutely nothing to do with you does not mean that there is anything wrong at all with inherited properties. Wow. I find receiving help from family far more admirable than misleading GoFundMes that assist us in buying new homes and remodeling our bathrooms. Never mind.